Good evening, everyone, and welcome to night 11 of Chris and Ralph Halloween recommendations. Tonight is going to be a special one, probably one of the best horror films of the 2010s, and that is no other than It.
Till it's too late. Here, take it.
It is a reboot slash sequel, I believe. No, it's not a sequel, it's a reboot of the classic Stephen King story, It. This is directed by Andy Muschietti. Director Andy Muschietti. He's gone on to do comic book films, and he's actually doing a prequel series for this show. This film stars a stellar young cast, most notably Finn Wolfhard as Richie, Jaden Martell as Bill, Jack Dylan Grazer as Eddie, and then obviously Bill Skarsgård as the great Pennywise. So a little bit of backstory. So this film takes place in 1984, right? 1984, something like that. 1980 something in Maine, in Derry, Maine. The premise of the story is that there are kids being kidnapped, and there's no traces of them. No one knows where to find them. And one of those kids is Georgie, Bill's younger brother. We follow Bill and his friends, and they go throughout Derry and they try to find Georgie. We see that Pennywise took Georgie. So Pennywise is a classic horror character. He's probably top 10 Halloween costumes I think of all time. Pennywise, he's up there. To me, he is. And Bill Skarsgård, his performance is fucking incredible. What he could do with his eyes is really weird, and I dig it and I respect it. So this town of Derry, they're just being, petrified and terrified, and not the whole town. It's more the kids. Only kids can see Pennywise and the horrors that he puts them through. We meet a wonderful character named Beverly, played by Sophia Lillis. She is a young girl who is sort of an outcast at her school. She meets this friend of other outcast, befriends them, and her story is really intriguing. And what Pennywise puts her through mentally is really screwed up. This story, it does a wonderful job, and you're not saying, oh, that's a good thing. It does a wonderful job at showing fear. These kid actors, they just killed it when it came to their screams, or like the looks on their faces when they're scared. I think this film, it really pinpoints that Stranger Things esque feel, where you just have a group of kids trying to solve the town's biggest mystery. The lead, what's his name, Jaden Martell, I think he has a stutter, and I think he is able to portray the nervousness of people that has a stutter. I personally, I have a stutter. And you can see it sometimes, but he's able to lead this group of friends, even though he's not the strongest speaker. And I think it's a testament of his character that, even though he's probably the most scared out of all of them, he's willing to lead them into battle. Let's talk about Eddie and Richie. Their dynamic is off the charts. They're just hilarious. They talk a lot of shit to each other, and I just think they're fucking funny. We meet a kid named Ben, played by Jeremy Ray Taylor. He is also an outcast. He has a thing for Beverly, but she's not really having the same feelings for him. She's having feelings for Bill, and it's just a lot going on in this story. And I think, what like I said, what they were able to portray, in terms of like all of their relationships, their friendships, their banter, the amount of shit that they talk to each other, it's it's just hilarious. And there are shit older teenagers. If you know anything about Stephen King books that get turned into movies, or Stephen King books in general, but especially the ones that get turned into movies, teenagers, the bullies, they're homicidal maniacs. They should be locked up in prison. Especially the main dipshit, named Henry Bowers. Nicholas Hamilton, I think he did a great job at portraying that character. Henry Bowers, he leads a group of assholes who terrorize the main group of kids, and Henry Bowers is a serial killer in the making. And his story is actually probably more disturbing than Pennywise, because Pennywise, he's just a clown that can transform into different things. He's not real. He's a fictional character. Henry Bowers is, a dude that you could probably know down the street that's strangling cats, stabbing kids, doing crazy ass shit. Henry, he's probably the real villain of this movie, if I'm being honest with you. Like I mentioned, every kid has their moment. Every actor has emotional amount of range. Mike Hanlon, played by Chosen Jacobs, I think his character, a lot of undertones of like racism by Henry, and I think Mike, as a character, I think he was really head forward, and he does get his come up at a certain scene, so it's really good. Everybody was a standout. Finn Wolfhard, he's probably the biggest star amongst the younger actors. So this is right. I think what Stranger Things was already a year in. 2016 was season one. This came out 2017. So yeah, he was in the middle of Stranger Things at the beginning. So I think he was dope. And I think the star of all of this is Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Pennywise is easily a character that can give kids nightmares. Um, his face, the range that he has with his face is just off the charts. Like I said, the thing he could do with his eyes, make him look different directions, is fucking weird, but I respect it. Shout out to Bill Skarsgård, and shout out to this whole cast and the wonderful job that they did. The story, very intriguing. It really is. It's a little over two. It's like 2:15, but it's engaging. At one point, you don't ever get bored. At least I didn't. Especially for like a horror film. Horror films, they run like a hot 90 minutes. This one is 2 hours, and the second one it's like what, 2:45. That's gonna be a lot longer. I can't wait to talk about that one. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. I hope I didn't give too much away. I gave away a little bit of like their friendships and their relationships and their dynamics and all that, and how Henry Bowers is a serial killer. But check this out if you haven't seen it. If you've been on the fence about watching it, no, because I like the original one. The original one is great. I love it. But this one is really dope as well. So you can check this out on Max. You can also check out the sequel on Max if you want to see both of them back to back, a good double feature. But guys, that is pretty much it for night 11. I hope you've enjoyed my quick review. So please like, share, and subscribe for future videos. We're going to be doing a video every single night for the month of October, recommending different Halloween horror films type of things. But as always, guys, I'm Chris. I'll catch you next time. Happy Halloween.